All right, folks. Well, it is time to get started. Again, my name is Chris Reger, and I am your host for today's exclusive customer webinar here at Heyo called How to Run a Killer Photo Contest. We run these customer-only webinars now and then. I'd say usually once or twice a month. We'd love to do them as often as we possibly can. It obviously takes a lot of time for us to put this content together, get everything going, let you guys know about it. But it is incredibly worthwhile because we love being able to talk to our customers and get to know you guys a little bit better. And hopefully this is some helpful content for all of you. We've certainly gotten really good feedback on these. So today's webinar is more focused on running a successful photo contest. But as I was just telling Linda a few moments ago, who's out in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, a lot of what I cover today will be very applicable no matter what type of social campaign you're running. You might be running a photo contest, you might be running a giveaway or a sweepstakes or some kind of group deal or other promotion. And I think you will find a lot of great content here no matter what you're looking to do. A quick shout out again and thank you to all of you who have joined early and are ready to go. We've got a bunch of folks on the line. From all over the place, all over the United States, and from other countries around the world as well. So thanks to Greta, who's joining us from Malta, from John, who's joining us, to John, who's joining us, Kathleen, who's joining us from Phoenix, Arizona, Linda, who we spoke with from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Mary, Marcy from York, Pennsylvania. Marcy, I've been to York, a beautiful town. We've got Mike joining us from Denver, Colorado, Becky from Boston, Massachusetts. We've got Philip and a whole bunch of other folks here as well. So again, thanks so much for joining. So just to introduce myself, my name is Chris. I run social media strategy here at Heyo. I'm at Chris Reger on Twitter. And all of you are on this webinar because you're a Heyo customer. Now, you might be a full and bona fide member of the Heyo family, and own a Heyo plan, or you might be a free trialer who is just checking out the platform for now. Regardless, we're really, really excited to have you joining us today. As you all probably already know, Heyo is a great platform for running social media campaigns that build your email list and help you drive more engagement from your audience. And we are really mostly focused on what we call small businesses. Small businesses just like Linda, who we talked to, who runs apps for sailing. We also love working with our agency customers as well. So now that you guys know a little bit about me, I would love to know a little bit more about you. So I'm going to launch a quick poll, and I would love to know, who are you? Are you a startup just working on your own? Are you a small or medium business with 1 to 10 employees? Are you a large business with 10 plus employees, or are you an agency working with clients? Please take a moment and just answer the quick poll I've got here on the screen. If we get enough participation, I will share the results across or with everyone so you guys can all see who's joined us. So I'd love to get up to, oh, holy cow, we're up over 80% already. That is amazing. Let's see if we can get to 90. Can we get to 90? Awesome. Awesome. Let me go ahead and close the poll and share the results with you. So here's who we've got on the webinar today. So 14% of you would identify as a startup, meaning you're kind of just getting going, or it's just you working on the business. 36% of you, so about a third of you, are a small or medium business. 27% of you would consider yourselves a large business. And about a quarter of you, 23% of you, would consider yourself an agency where you're actually executing campaigns and other marketing work for clients. So there you go. Now we know a little bit more about each other. I'm feeling more comfortable. I know who I'm talking to. Thank you for chatting with me, a couple of you already. So let's go ahead and get going. So as most of you know, there's plenty you can do with Heyo. You can run a social contest. You can create a lead capture page. You can publish visual content to Facebook from platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. And you can even build your own landing page by using our drag and drop editor, where you've got over 30 widgets to choose from to custom build your own campaign app. Today, we're going to really focus on this category right at the top of running a social contest. And in particular, we're going to focus on how you can run a killer photo contest. So let me start with a question. Why run a photo contest? Why is this a good idea? I would imagine that many of you have run like a sweepstakes or a giveaway or some extremely simple extremely simple a social campaign like that. In fact, let's do a quick kind of on-the-cuff poll by telling me in the GoToWebinar questions if you've run some kind of social contest before, and specifically, I guess, if you've run a giveaway or a sweepstakes, type yes in the GoToWebinar questions. Type yes in the GoToWebinar questions to let me know. Okay, lots of yeses. Kathleen says yes, a giveaway. Lori says, yeah, we've run a contest. Marcy says, run many sweepstakes, but no photo contests yet. Okay, perfect. Marcy, you're exactly who we put this together for. Becky, Donna, Jane, Tasha, Lisa. Okay, awesome. So I imagine, I guess that's true, right? Many of you have run a giveaway or a sweepstakes. A photo contest is a little bit different, and we're going to dig into the differences. I'm going to help you understand how and why it's different, but especially how and why it's extremely worthwhile. And at the end of the day, the best benefit from running a photo contest is because they drive engagement and awareness. They are really, really good at taking even a small population and getting them really engaging and sharing. And that is one of the main reasons that I personally like running a photo contest as a strategy for your business. So here's a question. Let me put a poll up. I'm wondering, have you guys ever run a photo contest before? Let me launch that poll real quick. There it is. If you wouldn't mind selecting one of these, and again, happy to share these results as well. Have you ever run a photo contest before? Not many things to choose from here. You either have, you haven't, but you plan to soon, or never because you don't do photo contests. Okay, let's see if we can get back up over 80%, guys. If you don't mind just taking a moment and focusing on my screen and answering this poll, that would be great. That would be great. All right, cool. So let me share the results. So the vast majority of you, not surprisingly, haven't yet run a photo contest but plan to soon. That's 2/3 of you. 29% of you have run a photo contest before, so hopefully you're going to learn some new strategies and tips today. And 4% of you have never run a photo contest because you don't do photo contests. So I'm not sure you're going to get a ton of value today if you're not planning to ever run a photo contest, but I think you'll still probably pick up a few things, so that's okay. Awesome. Well, that's helpful. So in the GoToWebinar questions, wow, lots of like little opportunities to participate today, guys. Do you want to see a quick case study? If so, type yes in the GoToWebinar questions. If not, type skip in the GoToWebinar questions, and I'd be glad to skip it. All right, lots of yeses. Heck yes. Mike says heck yes. Donna, yes. Roger, yes. Marcy, heck yes. Philip says, yep. I appreciate the variety of answers. Okay, cool. So let's dive right in and look at a quick case study. Now, I'm going to use this as a way to help you guys understand how a photo contest is different fundamentally from running a sweepstakes. So let's actually start with a short case study on a sweepstakes campaign. This is one some of you may have seen before. We've shared it before on other webinars. This is King Tut's Wawa Hut. It's a really funny name, but it was a really great contest, and they ran a sweepstakes to win tickets to see a show at their establishment. This is a bricks and mortar business. It's kind of a nightclub, restaurant type atmosphere. So this was the campaign. Here's what that campaign looks like on mobile. Right, all the Heyo templates are mobile responsive. So there's the mobile version. Now, here are the results. So let me call out a few things to you. You'll notice that they had over 4,000 impressions, which is great. You'll notice that their conversion rate was really, really solid. It was almost 60%. They captured over 2,600 new email leads. Now, this was an extremely successful sweepstakes, but what I will tell you is that the conversion rate, which we measure as emails captured divided by impressions, the conversion rate on a sweepstakes is usually very high. I would say they're generally about 20% or higher. Now, 20%, you might think, well, 2 out of 10 is not very high. But I mean, ask any business if they'd like to have 20% conversion rate on a landing page or on any kind of campaign that they're running. They're going to say, yes, absolutely, we'd kill for that. So anything up over 20% we see is pretty normal on the sweepstakes. And conversion rates of 30, 40, 50%, pretty common for a good campaign. So that is what a sweepstakes looks like. The number one best reason to run a sweepstakes is to capture those new email leads. You're going to get a big volume of new email leads. Now let's look at our photo contest case study, okay? This is by a business called One Man. They're based in New Zealand. Very cool company. that sells men's grooming products. They ran just a couple of months ago a Valentine's Day photo contest. It was just, hey, show us your cheesiest couple shot and win big for your handsome Valentine. Just, snap a photo of you and your significant other, your SO, and post it to our photo contest. On the right-hand side, you can see the leaderboard, right? Some of the votes that they got. So there is what the contest looks like. Now, take a look at my screen. Here's what the mobile version looks like. Now, let's take a look at the results. Now, what you're seeing on the screen, scrolling by, are the tweets that one man got from their photo contest. The tweets that they got from their photo contest. Now, let me go ahead and pause that because otherwise we'll get seasick. Although we do have some sailors on the webinar, as we already know. Let's take a look at the numbers, and here's where we're really going to understand, kind of the difference between the photo contest and the sweepstakes. Impressions over 33,000. Let's go back and double check the impressions on King Tut's Wawa Hut, 4,000. A really solid number. Wouldn't you love 4,000 different people to see your campaign, no matter what it is? But this is almost 4 times as many impressions. Emails captured, 135. Far fewer than the emails that King Tut's Wawa Hut captured. But cumulatively, the photos entered in this photo contest for one man they achieved over 3,400 votes. Greta, yes, they asked people for a tweet. I'm going to show you how. So let's talk about the differences a little bit. So again, the biggest difference is if you want to collect a volume of new leads, run a sweepstakes. If you want to get a lot more exposure and engagement, run a photo contest. That is, in very simple terms, that is the biggest difference between these two types of campaigns. Okay, if you're with me, type with you in the GoToWebinar questions. If you're with me, type with you in the GoToWebinar questions. Okay, cool, good. Wesley says, say that again. Good, this is important, right, Wesley? Okay, so here's what I would tell you. And this is why I'm sharing, Wesley, this is why I'm sharing these 2 case studies with you. If you want to collect new email leads, if that's your goal, run a sweepstakes. You'll get a lot more email leads with a sweepstakes. If you want to drive more exposure and engagement like people viewing your campaign, people voting on pictures submitted to your campaign, if you want to achieve engagement and build awareness, run a photo contest. That's the biggest difference between these 2 campaigns. That's the biggest difference between these 2 campaigns. Okay, cool. Let's keep going for now. You guys have lots of great questions. So let's dive into the content. How to run a killer photo contest. We're going to start with the basics, okay? Planning and preparation. There are 3 things I would highly recommend you take the time to plan before you ever even build your photo contest, okay? The first is knowing your target audience. Take a few moments and jot down a few notes about who your target audience is. Who are they? What are the demographics about your target audience? The demographics are the facts about your target audience, okay? What's their gender? Where do they live? How old are they? Those are facts, right? Those are facts that tell you something about your target audience. But also take the time to write down the psychographics of your target audience. It's a big fancy word that basically means, what do they care about? What do they care about? Okay. For instance, I am a white male in my 30s. Those are some of my demographics, right? That tells you something about me. But I love my family. I love to run. I trail run at least 4 days a week. Those are my psychographics, right? And you can understand how, for me, the fact that I'm a runner and I love to run, that's way more important to me than my age or, my racial ethnicity, right? So those psychographics are really important. Make the time to jot down a few things. Does your audience, let's use Let's use Linda, who we chatted with earlier, as an example. Linda is writing apps that appeal to people who want to learn how to sail. I would imagine, Linda, that people have to be pretty adventurous if they want to sail, or maybe they care about healthy living if they want to sail, right? So take the time to jot down some of those psychographics as well. Okay, this is really important. Select your entry method. And here's what I mean by that. This is a photo contest. You're going to be asking people to submit an image. Now, the great thing is, everyone now has a very, well, not everyone, but most people have a very high quality camera in their back pocket. It's called their cell phone, right? Every smartphone, and many just, non-smartphones, come with a really nice camera on them. I'm holding mine in my hand literally as I speak. So everyone's got a camera. That's another reason that running a photo contest is a lot easier today than it was even 5 years ago. But you want to make sure that you've got to tell them what kind of photo to enter, right, to submit. That's the entry method. So a couple of thoughts here. You want to tie it to your brand and or your prize. So I don't know if you can drill in and see the Dining Dog Healthy Pet Market. Look at this. Look at the snapshot on the right side of my screen right now. Take a moment, look at the snapshot on the right side of my screen. This is the Dining Dog Photo Contest, and they are a pet market that sells healthy pet products, right? Well, guess what? They ran a photo contest, and it was submit a picture of your cute puppy. Look at all the dog pictures on the photo contest. Makes a lot of sense, right? It ties to their brand or prize. The second thing I would tell you is make it easy on your entrants. Be careful and give them something that's easy to share. One of the reasons I love this photo contest, who doesn't love taking pictures of their pets, right? I have 2 dogs at home right now, and I snap pictures of them all the time. I think they're awesome. I would love to submit, upload a picture of my dog to a photo contest. So this is a great example of selecting the right kind of entry method. For instance, like what would be like a bad or a wrong way of making it hard on your entrance? You might say something like, upload a photo of yourself walking a tightrope. Okay, that's kind of a dumb example. Well, upload to enter, just upload a photo of yourself in front of the Empire State Building, right? Like how many people can get to the Empire State Building? Even if they live in New York, I might live in Brooklyn and have to jump on a subway train to get to the Empire State Building, right? So like make it easy on them. Make it easy on your entrance and tie that entry method to your brand or prize. And then finally, select the right prize. Make it relevant and compelling. You want it to be a prize that's really exciting and one that will be really relevant to that target or audience that you've already outlined and made some notes about. A couple of things I would highlight to you here. It's not always the best idea to give away your own product or service, right? If you're a photographer, giving away a free sitting might be a really nice value because you might charge a lot of money, but it's not the best prize. It's not something people can get really excited and amped up about. Another little recommendation for you would be to somehow tie to current events. So, whether it's a holiday or a big sporting event or some timely news item, tying to current events is another great strategy for making sure that you're being really compelling with your contest and your prize. So I hope that's helpful. And I should also tell you guys, if you've got questions as I go, feel free to drop them into GoToWebinar, into the questions panel. I'll do my best to handle them on the fly, and I'll definitely save time for Q&A at the end. Okay, so the next step is to actually create your contest page in Heyo. Now you guys have a decision to make here. Would you like me to actually show you a few things in the Heyo dashboard so that you are a little bit better equipped to create a photo contest? If so, type yes in the GoToWebinar questions. If not, type skip in the GoToWebinar questions. Happy to skip that if you'd like, but if you want me to do a quick demo, I'm happy to do it. Okay, it looks like it's probably going to be a yes. I don't see any skips yet. Kimberly's joining us from El Dorado. Kimberly, great to have you here. Okay, lots of yeses. Lisa, yes. Donna, yes. Sarah, yes, please. Sarah, so polite. Thank you so much. Mike says, do it. Mike's not polite, but emphatic, and I like that about you, Mike. Lori, yes, please. Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right, so let me just pull open a tab of Heyo real quick. By the way, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'm now showing off the new Heyo website. Hope you like it. Got some nice customers. feature right here at the bottom. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log right into Heyo. Let me delete this one. Okay, so now I'm going to suggest that you watch my screen carefully here. All the value here will be from again, watching my quick demo as I go. So here I am in the Heyo dashboard. All I'm going to do is click Create a Campaign. I'll then, of course, name my campaign. I'm going to name it the very unimaginative title of Photo Contest, but you know, I'm going on the fly here. Again, here are all those things you can do with Heyo. I'm going to select Run a Social Contest. Over here on the right-hand side, again, many of you have probably used our Sweepstakes template. I'm going to scroll down and select Photo Contest. And here is the Photo Contest template. Okay. Click Save and start editing. Now, this works much like the Sweepstakes template, right? I can hover over these different elements on the page, and then I have the ability to edit them. Now, I'm not going to have time to, and I don't want to take the time, and because we've only got maybe another 20 minutes here of presentation, to show you how to do every single thing on the page. So I'm going to highlight the key differences so that you don't get lost. So first of all, you see this little toggle up here on the top right. I'm going to select that. This is what we call the banner options. Now, what I would recommend with the photo contest, there are a lot of different options and features here. They're all embedded within the different widgets. So for instance, I just clicked on that, those banner options, and you can see I've got some different colors. I can change the colors of the banner here, and that's great. Right? I just made that like a nice gray. Maybe I'll make this like a nice purple. Like a lavender. Cool. Okay, so that's very easy to do. I can change the text here, so I could say instead of submit your own photo, maybe submit your best selfie for a chance to win. But again, if I scroll even lower, you'll notice that I have the option to set my default landing page. Now, the Heyo Photo Contest template has two separate pages. There's this, what we're looking at now is the enter page. There's also a voting page where there's a gallery of all the photo entries. So in this case, because I'm about to launch my contest, I'm going to say default the landing page to enter. Okay, and then I'm going to click Save Changes. That is something I would make sure that you do. Now I also want to share with you, I'm going to click on this countdown timer. Now, the Sweepstakes has the same countdown timer on it, but this one has more options. Every photo contest has an entry period, and this is the period of time where people can enter the contest, and a voting period, which is the period of time when people can vote on their favorite photos. Now, I've gone ahead and clicked the countdown timer, and I can see those options here. So entry settings, I can change the start date, set a date to start entry collection, set a date to end entry collection. So I could say, I want this to start right away, like say today, but I want people to only have until the end of the month, let's say, to submit a photo, or maybe I'll give them an extra week. Let's say till May 6th. Whoops. May 6th. Okay, cool. A couple of other options, you've got actually a bunch more options here. I can set a limit to the number of photos that folks can enter. Okay, so right now it defaults to no limit. So this allows people to submit as many photos as they want. If you want them to only be able to submit one photo, just click one. Then I can go to vote settings. I can do the same thing with the voting period. Well, I want people to have until May 6th, right, to enter their photos. So maybe I'll start voting on May 7th. And maybe I'll have that go just all the way through May. I have a couple of other options. I can choose whether to display or hide the vote count. A reason to hide the vote count would be if you don't want some of your entries to get discouraged because they see the winners have or the leaders have so many votes, right? So a lot of people will choose to hide the vote count for that reason. You don't have to though, but I'll go ahead and click hide. And then I can also choose my voting frequency. I can allow people to vote like once per day, or as frequently as 180 times per hour. Basically means they can vote as much as they want. okay? Oh, excuse me, that's setting the voting period. I can allow them to vote one time per period, and I'm setting the period. So I can allow them to vote once per hour, once per day, 5 times a week, etc., or once every 5 weeks, etc. All right, cool. And then I've got some other options too, but those are kind of the critical ones, so I'm going to go ahead and push Save Changes. All right, and then finally, we're going to talk about entry methods here in a little bit, but you've also got the form field where you can, this is where you'll collect information about the photos, the photo entries. Now, this whole section here, down to where it says max 500 characters, that is all required. So you can't change that. These fields here, you can change. If you want to no longer collect first name and last name, if you want to add fields, you can. Just remember that with every field you add, that it's going to decrease your conversion rate. The harder you make it for people to enter, the lower the conversion rate is going to be. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes here. So here I am in Save and Preview. I make this a little smaller so you guys can see the whole thing. So this is the entry page. And then if I just click this little toggle, there is the voting page. There is the voting page. And as people enter, the gallery will be populated here. So there you go. There are just some best practices and some things to make sure you catch when you are actually building your photo contest within Heyo. All right, cool. Let's keep rolling right along. So once your contest is live, you of course want to promote your contest as much as possible. Now, first of all, you're going to want to promote it on social media. This is pretty basic, and a lot of you may know some of these tips already. I'm going to go ahead and reiterate them because they are extremely important. So first of all, make sure you add links to your post if at all possible. You want to make it really easy for people to enter. So make sure that you use a link. They've got the best visibility, and they're the easiest way to drive clicks and visitors to your campaign landing page. You want this photo contest to be a success. Make sure you're using the ideal image size. I can't stress this enough. Social media has gotten more and more visual. So in Facebook, for instance, 484 pixels wide by 252 pixels tall, that is the ideal size image for a link share post. You want to keep the copy on the post concise because research indicates that the shorter your copy is, the better. And finally, expect people to engage. You know, when folks are entering your contest, make sure that you don't what I call fire and forget. When you post to social media, expect people to engage with that post. Expect people to engage with that post. Okay, I've got a few questions coming in here. I just want to cover those real quick before I move on. So Mike asks a great question. Michael asks a great question. He says, I appreciate the idea of not giving away your own goods or services. If you've got alternatives available, do you have data showing better results one way versus the other? So I don't have any hard data on that, Michael. What I would tell you is there are plenty of businesses that are very successful giving away their own product as a prize. So that's not a no-no. I would say the only group of businesses that's a no-no for it would be any services-based business. And the example I use often that you've maybe heard me share before is that, you know, if I'm a tax accountant and I run a small tax consultancy, giving away a free tax consultation is just a horrible prize because it just feels time-consuming and not that exciting to the user. Now, I mentioned a photographer example earlier. You know, giving away, you know, the possibility of them giving away a free photo shoot. A free photo shoot. Photo shoots are wonderful. We have our family photos hanging up in the house. But you know, photo shoot requires time. It requires getting everyone together. It has to be scheduled. I just find that services in general do not make for the best prize. People tend to like products or gift cards much better than services. So that would be the one group where I would say pretty unanimously that giving away your own service, if you're a services business, usually not the best idea. The example I use a lot here is if you're a dentist, don't give away a free teeth cleaning, give away a free electric toothbrush. right? It's related to your business. It's logical, but it's also really fun. I'd love to have like a nice electric toothbrush in my house, but I don't. Okay, cool. Mike asks, I thought 1 week was best for a contest. Is it different for a photo contest? Yes. Mike, the answer is yes. You want to make sure with a photo contest, you're giving your viewers, your consumers, a little bit more time, because this is different than a sweepstakes where all I have to do is drop in my email address or my name and email address. I actually have to snap a photo and upload it. So you want to just give them a little extra time. I would say 2 weeks at a minimum for entry, possibly longer. I'd say 30 days is maybe like a nice high. So let's say 2 to 4 weeks, Mike, for a photo contest is what I'd recommend. Keep the questions coming, folks, although I want to keep going. Okay, so that was promoting on social media. Let's talk about promoting on email. This is hugely important, okay? Email is still a great channel. It's got the highest ROI of any channel online. If you have any kind of email list, I'd highly recommend letting them know about the contest. You already have their email address, but again, remember this photo contest is not just about getting new leads, it's about engagement. And so your fans who you also have on your email list are the perfect people to get to enter your photo contest because they're going to get their friends sharing as well. And that's really important. So email marketing is a great channel. Now, let's dive in. I'm going to breeze through some best practices here on the photo contest, and I think this will address a lot of your questions. If it doesn't, I'm happy to cover them in the future. So let's talk about best practices for the photo contest. Okay, cool. We already covered this with Mike. Contest timing. I would highly recommend giving yourself 2 to 4 weeks for the photo contest. So from the moment it goes live, give people at least 2 weeks to enter. And you know, you can keep voting going the same time, or you can have a defined voting period. Some people like to do that, right, to keep it really fair. Those are my thoughts on contest timing. Photo entry options. With Heyo, you can have people upload a photo from their phone or computer, or connect with their Instagram account to select a photo from their Instagram account. Or they can even paste an image URL. So, you know, if it's like a Facebook image or a Twitter image, they can just right click it, copy the image URL and paste it in here. Those are your photo entry options. I think you want to make sure you make this as simple and painless for your audience as possible, for your fans as possible. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the entry form. I guess we kind of covered this as well, but what I would say is you don't want this to be too long. In this particular contest, one man, the best dad shot contest, they had 4 entry fields plus uploading the photo and plus writing an image, a photo description. This is a lot. I mean, I would say generally you want to stay under this. Now, this was still a successful contest, and it doesn't mean you can't run a successful contest by asking for a lot of information, but I would just counsel you guys to not ask so much. That would be my advice. We talked a little bit about picking the right prize. You know, make sure you pick something compelling. Here's an example, Mike, where one man actually did give away their own product. It was a gift certificate to their store. So they gave away $250 worth of one-man grooming gear for dad, right? This was a whole like Father's Day kind of dad-centric photo contest. That can be a great prize. So there you go. Okay, let's talk through voting. I saw at least one person asking how the voting works and, you know, how do I share on Twitter, that kind of stuff. So here's how this works with the Heyo photo contest. So once a photo is entered, it's added to the gallery. The gallery is visible on the voting page and it's searchable. You can sort it by most votes, alphabetical, or most recent. And you can actually search based on, so let's say I was Manuel's friend and I wanted to come vote for his photo, but I couldn't find it. I can search Manuel's name right here and I can see his photo straight away. So now here's how it works. If I click on one of these photos to vote, just click the image, I'll immediately see this pop up. And by the way, this all comes with the Heyo photo contest template. This is why you guys are using Heyo. So you don't have to structure any of this. This is all automatic. They will then see this pop up that says, thanks for voting. Share your vote with your friends to get the photo you voted for to the top of the leaderboard. I can copy this contest URL and I can paste it in anywhere I want, or I can click one of these buttons to just automatically share to that platform. So if I click Twitter, boom, I get this Twitter pop-up, and this is automatically, this text is automatically populated for me. And this link is automatically populated for me. Now here's the cool thing. If and when someone clicks on that link, they will not only be taken to the contest, they'll be taken to that contest page with that same photo displayed. Which is very, very cool. So they won't actually have to go hunting around for it. So there you go. So let me go ahead and click there. One last tip here as we talk about best practices, you want to make sure that you're really thinking critically about mobile. You know, how else can I say this? Everyone's on mobile right now, right? 52% of Facebook users are only using Facebook from their phones. There are 1.6 billion active mobile users on Facebook and over 400 million Instagram users on mobile. So make sure that mobile is kind of first and foremost on your mind as you're putting this photo contest together. That's extremely important. And the good thing is your Heyo photo contest template is already mobile responsive, as you've already seen. So you don't need to worry too much about making the campaign itself mobile. You might want to think a little bit about your mobile strategies as well in terms of promotion. All right, cool. So hopefully you guys are seeing that if you do this right, it is like magic for your business. You can get a lot of awareness, you can get a lot of people voting, and you can still get a lot of entries, even though you won't necessarily get as many leads as the sweepstakes by running a successful photo contest. All right, so tell me in the GoToWebinar questions, have you learned at least 2 new things from today's webinar so far? Please type yes or no. Have you learned at least 2 new things from today's webinar? We're not even to Q&A yet. We still have Q&A to go. Yes, yes. Philip, yes. Lisa, yes. Mike, yes. Lisa says, oh, yeah. Marcy says, yes, sir. Mike, I always learn something new with Heyo. Thanks, Mike. Okay, awesome. Good, good, good. So I know I've got a bunch more questions. I'm going to go ahead and dive into those now. Let me scroll back up. And bear with me here as I get through these guys. Okay, Roger asked a question. If one has a new Facebook page and hence no traffic, what is the best way to get traffic to the contest page? So here's what I would say, Roger, and I would tell you all of you this unequivocally. You need to have some kind of audience, organic audience online. I should say it's best to have some kind of organic audience online to direct to the contest. Right? That's who you want your leads to be. Now, it could be Facebook fans, could be Twitter followers, could be website visitors, blog subscribers, people on your email list, whoever they are. You want to have some kind of audience you can tap into online. If you don't, Roger, you're going to be relying on ads. And Facebook ads tend to be the most popular channel for paid spend with these kinds of contests. And that's perfectly fine. Facebook ads are generally successful. And I've seen them perform really well. They need to be very, very well targeted. You got to really know who your audience is to use Facebook ads successfully. Here's what I would tell you. If you have no audience yet at all, do not run a photo contest. I find these to be better for companies that already have some fans with some affinity for their brand. So I would recommend starting with a sweepstakes and maybe running a few of those before trying a photo contest. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, Max says, are all fields required if enabled, or can some be optional? Max, right now, if you add a field, it's automatically required. So if it's not required, I would go ahead and not include it. But as I've already said, Max, my personal opinion is you should include as few fields as possible to enter. Okay. All right, Philip asks a great question. Can you go over the connect to Instagram? Sure. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to everybody watch my screen. I'm going to show you how connecting to Instagram works with these contests. So I'm going to go ahead and publish my little fake campaign to web. By the way, here's the entry page. Okay. Mobile responsive. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say I've got my options here. Now, if I click browse, this would be uploading a photo from my hard drive. And by the way, I can only show you, Philip, on my laptop here, but just know that the mobile version is much the same. Okay, it's exactly the same, just on mobile. Instead, I'm going to click connect with Instagram. I'm going to get a little pop-up, and you'll see that it just automatically synced to my, I was already logged into Instagram, so just automatically syncs to my Instagram account. Okay, you guys get to see a few personal pictures. There's my daughter meeting Ariel at Disney World. Okay, I'll pick this lighthouse, and you can see it automatically brought in the image and my description or my post with that image from Instagram. I can add my email address. I can add my name. I'm going to click enter. Boom. Once somebody enters, they get the same share pop-up. They get the same share pop-up. Hopefully everybody saw that. That is how the Connect to Instagram works. Philip, I hope that's helpful. Leslie, is it possible to take down photos just in case someone submits something inappropriate? Absolutely, Leslie. You can remove a photo from the photo contest. Very, very easy to do. We've also got we always, I should say, got your back as well here at Heyo. So if you need some help and you can't take care of it on your own, feel free to reach out to us directly and we can help you. Would the best way to advertise be to boost a post with the link? That's a question from Greta. Greta, the best way to advertise would be to tell your existing audience about this opportunity. Again, social media fans, email list, website visitors, etc. The next step, I would say, yes, boost your post with a link. Boosting to fans, that's a great strategy. Technically, that's a paid strategy, but it's just letting your existing fans know about the contest. And we all know Facebook reach is not what it used to be. So it's not a bad idea at all. I highly recommend that. Lori asked the question, how do you know the size of your image? Lori, what do you mean? I'm not sure I'm following you. The image that I upload to the contest or a different one? Let me know what you think. All right, cool. I am going to take a moment now. Let's see, Levi asked, okay, gift cards. Okay, Kathleen asks a great question. What is the difference between a Facebook post that links to your landing page with an image and a link share post? Okay, Kathleen. A link share post just means I paste a link into a Facebook post. That's all that means. I paste the link into a Facebook post. So if I go to Facebook right now, and let's say I go to my little test page here, and if I paste in this smart URL, this is a link share post. You see how it automatically populates? I get the image for my contest, the name, the title, the description. This is automatically populated. Only difference would be if you removed all this info and just went with the link. Now it's not a link share post anymore. Okay, so that's what I like that. You can see right here, this little spring giveaway. This whole thing, if I click anywhere on this post, the title, the description, the image, it will go straight to my contest page. That's a link share post. All right, cool. Okay, Lori, the only way to know the size of the image you submit is to know the size of the image you submit. That's not the best answer. That probably sounds like a trick answer, but I promise it's not. Mike offers a great suggestion. Thanks, Mike. He says, with a large email list, use the Facebook lookalike tool to double target. Those of you that don't know what he means, all he means is you can upload, you have this feature in the Facebook ad platform where you can upload a list and you can say, show my post to people like this. Okay, Lori asks a great question. She says, we are going to be at a trade show. Are there any tips on utilizing our presence there with a contest? Yeah, absolutely. If you can have some laptops or even better, some iPads or some tablets there, I would highly recommend, you can I've seen a lot of our clients have great success running a contest at a trade show. I don't know that the photo contest would be best. I think I might go for a sweepstakes because it's just easier to get people to enter, pop in their email address for a chance to win. But if you want to try a photo contest, maybe just try to tie it into the conference or the trade show somehow. I think that could be really successful. All right, cool, guys. I have about 5 more minutes. If you still have questions, go ahead and post them in the GoToWebinar questions. Now, I want to show you one more thing in the meantime. For those of you that might be on a Heyo free trial right now and not yet on a paid subscription, when you're ready to upgrade, watch my screen. This is how you do it, okay? Right from within the Heyo dashboard, you'll see at the top a banner, free trial account. You can click upgrade now to save your leads. You can also click this pricing link here on the right-hand side. Either one takes you to the same place, takes you right to this little pricing page where you can click buy now and you can check out to upgrade your plan. It's very, very simple to do. Okay, there ends my public service announcement. Okay, Mike brings up a great question for those of you who are on the Heyo Hub Facebook group. He says, let's discuss ideas from this webinar on the Heyo Facebook group. We could get some good brainstorming going. Mike, I think that's a great idea. If you want to start that discussion, I will definitely participate in that. Okay, Kathleen asks, does Heyo provide the analytics on a contest or do you get the impressions from Facebook? No, we provide impressions and we also provide leads, so emails collected. The other thing, and we also provide votes, so for the photo contest. The other thing I would recommend doing is we have a really simple Google Analytics integration. I would highly recommend integrating your contest page directly with Google Analytics, which is free, so that you can get kind of richer page analytics on the actual contest page. I think that's a great idea. Donna asked the question, we give away baseball tickets all season for a local minor league baseball team. Any ideas for an ongoing sweepstakes? Donna, do you mean like when it's off season? The baseball team's off season? Greta, I'm going to shoot you a personal reply. There you go. Okay, great question from Kimberly. Okay, so Kimberly asks, where's the best place to place a link to a campaign on your website? So I would highly recommend, if at all possible, Kimberly, making this a pop-up. So we've done this all the time here at Heyo. So some of you will notice. So let me actually show you. Why not go there, right? So let's go to the Heyo blog real quick. So here I am on the Heyo blog. Let's give it a moment to load. Often when you're on the blog, you'll see that we use a pop-up. So you'll sometimes see a pop-up come up that just either prompts you to enter your email address, or what I would do if I were you is have that pop-up link to your Heyo campaign landing page. Okay, it's very, very easy to do. See if I can get it to come up. I think I've already been to the blog enough times today, so it's not doing it for me. There it is. Boom. Here's the pop-up. What you could do is you could have this be your contest image. You click on it, it drives right to your contest landing page. That would be my recommendation, Kimberly. You can also leverage like a banner, like a slim banner at the top of your website or blog, or just a simple link. And actually, if you're a blogger, Kimberly, go ahead and write a blog post about it. I've seen that be really successful. Marcy, thank you so much. She says, this might be a little bit over the top, but she says, Heyo is the best thing since the dawn of marketing. Hey, Marcy, I really appreciate that. Just really great feedback. That's really nice. Okay, Kathleen says, is there such a thing as running a photo contest on Instagram using Heyo, or is it always a Facebook contest? So Kathleen, these are not Facebook contests. I know that quite often we see them as Facebook contests. But you know, like you'll notice this photo contest here that I put together, and I'm looking at the landing page for it right now. I'm not on Facebook. This is just a little web microsite. So yes, you can run a photo contest on Instagram. Um, I would just encourage people to enter directly from their Instagram feed, as I did right here. Right, I can do whatever I want. So I would highly recommend that. Kimberly, the pop-up I use is called Sumo Me. It's a really funny name. She asked about the blog pop-up. There it is. And it's very simple. I think they have a free version too. Yeah, Mike asked the same question. He says, any recommendations for a simple pop-up tool? So I've used Sumo Me, Mike, but there are lots of other good ones. There's actually one called WordPress Pop-up that I think is also has a free version. All of these have like a pro version that like for like a one-time payment, they give you more features, which might be a great idea. But there are some good options for you. Okay, Jane asks, is there a way to approve photos before they post? Jane, right now we built the photo contest where you can remedially remove photos, but that is a request we've gotten before, and it's definitely something we're looking into adding. All right, cool. Well, folks, I am just about out of time. I want to thank all of you for joining today. I hope that you got a lot out of this webinar. If you've got further questions, go ahead and pop them into the GoToWebinar questions. I will be glad to answer them as best I can here post webinar. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys have been a great audience. I really appreciate the exchange and all the great participation. I hope you guys, if nothing else, are walking away feeling maybe a little bit more empowered and excited about running a photo contest. It can be a really great strategy. It is just simply a little different than your usual sweepstakes or giveaway type contest. So I want you to walk away knowing these best practices and hopefully with some really great ideas on how to get started. So once again, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.